I am so happy to be with you today. My name is Magdala Ramirez. I come from the Maya Mexica tradition, and today we have this beautiful abuela, my beautiful sister, Silvia Lemus. Today we're going to be talking about what happened in this beautiful lunar eclipse, about the divine feminine and how to choose love in these very powerful times that it is going on everywhere in the world. You know, there is so many things going on that it has been hurting in so many ways the spirit, because it makes you think that the only thing that exists is that third dimensional reality. When the Great Mother is telling us to stay focused in a higher dimension, stay focused in your energy, in that frequency range that it is growing right now. It is very important to see all these horrible things too that it is happening. There is all this racism, there is all this white supremacy, so much division into the people that when you put attention, it makes you feel that you want to go and fight. But the truth is that the system is inside of you. It has always been inside of you, and these voices are deep, and they are right there as a lower selves that you do need to overcome. And you do need to see this in a higher picture, in a higher understanding of who you are. My beautiful sister, how do you feel about what everything that it is going on right now?
Well, buenos días, Kali Tonali, and thank you, my beautiful abuela sister, for asking me to be on your program today to share with people as an abuela person in the stage of life that I'm at. And the teachings or the understandings that I get from my journey of life is we're at a juncture now where we cannot, as women, hold back our beauty and our light inside as mothers and as grandmothers, and that we are the voice of our ancestors who've come before us. And so I can share with the people listening that it is important to listen and pray to your inner knowing. And if you chose parents who gave you lessons, they were the nest that you left, but you've also flown out of that nest to change the values to standing in the side of love. And how do we do that as women who are 72, living and born and raised in the culture that chooses to judge a baby or a child by the color of their skin or by the language that they speak in comparison to a colonized model? And so as a woman who was raised by my mother and grandmother, isolated from humanity, I was able to be in nature and away from the racism, so to speak, of the humanity. And I didn't realize the vision my mother had. And so now I'm trying to share for people to be in nature, be in under a tree, take a walk near water. Even if you live in a city, get near a flower and use that to enter into that mother feminine energy. And if you've chose in this time, in this our incarnation, to be a woman, it's not something bad, because we are at the place where we can shift humanity to return to harmony between the power of the feminine the divine feminine or the sacred feminine, the beauty of walking in the feminine. And this is for men too. They have a feminine side too. And it's been suppressed or not valued. And what I want to tell people from experience that it's not easy journey to stand on the side of love. And if we as women who are in the abuela stage, who have had lots of experience with a system in the United States that is not tolerant of the other, that we can be as women changing to work with all women of all races and all nations, and give love to that value, because we give life. And as women who are mothers, we can raise our boys differently. That's so important. And I always go to people in circles and I say these words: we need to raise our children differently, mainly the boys, so they can see that the earth is a mother, and they can also nurture their own feminine side. And I have my work because I'm a grandmother and I have 3 grandsons. And I thought, well, this is really good because I can practice with my own family. The first unit is your family. And so as an abuela, I have an opportunity to do those teachings with these young little buds of life and provide that footprint of how we can bring harmony for the next generation, so that we don't have stories of how a young group of men from a Catholic school taunted an elder at the Washington, D.C. monument, where he was singing a sacred song. It was a spiritual song of the Sundance. And he was such a noble elder because he was a man teaching young men how to be respectful in spite of the taunting that they did. And so my message for the listeners today is to close your eyes and go into nature, where you can see and feel the evolution of your soul, to complete your other half, and to complete it standing on the side of harmony and beauty, and the frequency which is opposite of fear, hatred, insecurity, and dependence on outside rewards from that beautiful light you have inside you. Each of us is a star. We came from the cosmos, and we can evolve to accept all ways of knowing, all cultures, and be citizens of the world. And my joy is that I'm born at this time and space so that we as women can take up that mantle or take up that responsibility and understanding and do our little part toward that. I sometimes say vision, but the word I'm going to say right now is hope. That we can be hopeful of the future. So
I have all these emotions inside of me, and here we go. I have come here to tell you that it is the divine right of this beautiful planet, of bringing forward your divinity where it is your freedom. Your freedom, it is weaving with love that you are, that you have always been. That love that you are, it is now bringing into that expression. Many people, many beautiful entities have come here into this world, and they were all under attack. That being under attack is at the moment that you present yourself as love. You're going to have a lot of resistance from the system, for the system doesn't want you to tap into your freedom. The system wants you to be slave of them and creating all these distractions that it bounds you into that system and perpetuate that patriarchal system. It is the new born of this world that you're giving birth. This giving birth, it is bringing that love as a way of living. The way of living, it is your divine masculine. When you are able to hold on into your truth and stand up in your truth, no matter what, and begin to comprehend your natural being, that it is always through that union of polarities within your own self. Doesn't matter if you're a male or if you're a female. It is true that now it is that feminine that it is the leading the way, but she's leading the way because of the love that she's able to hold on into it. What it has been happening everywhere in the world, it is putting attention to your own self, to see those little selves that in some way you open the door for those systems to attack you. It is very important, like my beautiful sister was saying, how hard it is to hold on into love. Well, I am telling you, it might be hard in the very beginning, but as you connect and embrace who you are, it is the much more simple thing to do than creating a big fight and creating that distortion that the third dimensional reality wants to distract you from your own purpose in life. It is true that as we as women, we can give birth to this new world. It is a conception within ourselves. Can we embrace peace? Can we hold on into who we are and do what we have come here to do, to lead the people into the world of the enchanted flower, as our ancestors called this world? A world that it is always at hand, that it is a matter of a frequency range when you are able to tap into it. And it all depends on your choices. Do you see how the moon, when it came out after the eclipse, it was so beautiful and shiny? So are you. So are you. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. Don't be afraid of truth inside of yourself. Don't be afraid of your own greatness, for you are indeed the daughter of the Great Mother, the son of the Great Mother, that divine feminine and this divine masculine that we are weaving together within the self to awake the key that you are for the multidimensional realities. And as we weave this prayer together for the whole humanity, it is not too much about how much resistance it is, but to use the resistance as a stepping stone to use your power and hold on your ground as your own divinity, even when people don't see you sacred, even when people are putting attention to your color of the skin or your gender or your sexual preferences or your vagina or penis. It doesn't matter. It is you as a beautiful divine spark in this journey that you are, that it is able to hold on into your truth. The love that you are, it is giving you this power. And embracing and managing this power, it is imperative at this time. The new world is not matriarchal, is not patriarchal. It is both happening at the same time. And this starts within you as a woman and within you as a man. For every power, it comes from the divine feminine in this planet. What do you feel about this, my sister?
Your words are so healing. And the sanación de la familia, del pueblo, es tan importante. The vibration of the understanding of your words is to do that dance and to sing and touch the Mother Earth. And we are with the eclipse yesterday, at that juncture where it is becoming more natural for us as human beings, with the technology we have today, to capture the essence of the eclipse. And I'm encouraged by the energies of yesterday, as the people who are trained in thinking linearly could see that shadow of the earth on the moon and enter into the magic of, we are in a part of the earth that is a material matter. We have a meat body, and the earth is our mother. And when you look up and you see the cosmos and that beautiful image captured by so many people on their cell phones of the stages of what happened last night, and those of us living in the United States were able to see it at a very convenient time. And so many people were able to experience that phenomena, like the indigenous ancestors did, and did a whole cosmo tradition of that. That my thoughts right now are to share that in the next couple weeks, to hold that vision of what happened with the eclipse, and to encourage people, as my sister just said, to realize that we can go beyond the linear mentality to the multidimensional reality that our ancestors in this side of the world, in this continent, had embraced. And we're here to flower, and that flowering is unique to each and every spark of the divine. And the exciting part is that we can do this with allies. And we can do this with the technology of today, to know that you have support of so many people across the world saying the same thing. And we have the metaphor is that we have the sacred water, and that water can be used to support us in that vibrational frequency that is able to be transmitted, and all the elements. I love the water, and I want to honor the water in my life, and the water as a healer. But it may be fire, It may be the sacred breath of the songs, or it may be grounding yourself with your feet in the earth, taking that energy from the core of Mother Earth. But you may ask, what are the tools? What are the resources that I have? And they're very basic ones, and they're and you have the power of your mind to create a beautiful meditation where you can fly like the phoenix bird, the firebird. And we have people who are offering their songs for healing, cantos de sanación. And so be that human being who can be open to use metaphor, to use poetry, to use arts, so that your soul can support that harmony. And we can advance this human population and go forward with roots of the ancestors that have gone before us. And my roots are in this continent, and so we use the metaphor of the turtle, and that the Mother Earth is like a turtle swimming the celestial seas. And we are with her, and that shadow on the moon reminds us that we're traveling in the cosmos. And it is an awe-inspiring moment to share with people today and to help reflect and integrate this juncture that we're in. And I especially like the words that were said earlier about you have the freedom to choose. And we may not think so, but if you honor that inner mind, you can travel very far in an instant. So use those divine gift, because we are the divine, we are the magic, and we can astral travel, and we can do so many more things than you only have to use your imagination. So all the blessings to you on your sacred travels in your human body form. And that truly is the gift, to be in, to have a form, and to know that you are spirit and matter. So blessings of harmony.
It is such a long journey that human beings took to get into this place. And it is very important to see and recognize the lies that the system put upon you. They told you that you needed somebody to connect with the one that created you. That was a lie. You can connect with the one that created you at all times, at any times. They told you that you were not good enough. And that has been a huge lie that it keep on holding you back. Well, it is the time for you to present that truth. The truth that you are, whoever you are that divine spark. And you have always held on into that divinity in you. Means that you know how to do this. You have been preparing for this moment for a very, 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 very long time. And this is your time. Right now, we are in the wave of Xochitl in our Calendario Azteca. And this Xochitl means flower. And I was talking the other day with this flower. And I told her, oh my gosh, you have a beautiful purpose. You bring beauty. And she says, well, that's what you think. My purpose is blooming. And it might be that you don't see it, or you see it, it doesn't matter. My time is to bloom. Our conversations with the flower. It was a very, very beautiful teacher for me because it doesn't matter if the system see you through those biases and critics and all these things. You don't matter about that. Don't care about that because your purpose is to bloom. And in order to bloom, you do have your resistance. And it is the time when you understand that divine spark that you are. And it has nothing to do with the outside world, but into that inner world that you know that this is your time. This is your time to bloom. The Great Mother, it is in you, as it is in me, as it is in this beautiful sister that I am talking with in making the dance for you. It is everywhere around you where you receive your support. The whole creation, it is there to remind you who you are. It is right there to recognize that in the ordinary is where the extraordinary is taking place if you know how to see it. Stand up in your truth now and do what you have come here to do. We are so grateful for all of you and for your work. I am reminding you that we have an app now that it is available in your phone. It is called Messages from the Great Mother. And I want you to download it because the messages is bringing all these perfect synchronicities in your life. The Mother really wanted you to know that she walks with you, that she is in you at all times. And we also have our school online that it is happening. And we are so grateful for my beautiful sister abuela, Silvia Lemus. My sister, do you want to say something more before we close it?
Gracias, Mateo. I am your mirror. I salute you in the capacity to know that the Mexica Tolteca ancestors were able to create a cosmovision. That is my heritage that I embrace. That we use the concept of the mirror and we use the element of the obsidian, which reflects light. It's one of the few elements that reflects light. And I share with you in my closing comments that when you see your every daily life, know that each living being that you encounter is your mirror, reflecting light, your own light. And that is a discipline that I have been taught to follow in my traditions that I've studied, that as human beings, we want something tangible. And that's why we use our sacred incense, copal, to see and we smoke our sacred pipes to see the smoke go to the cosmos. And so surround yourself by those sacred things that you might encourage you to do your inner knowing. You don't have to have these. But why do we have these? Is because we sometimes get into an altered state of the divine awe, or it's hard to give words to it, but it is very, very special for me to share that the water is a mirror, and I walk near the water every day. Even in the desert here, we have water. And I went to the water to see the moon and the eclipse last night with my husband in the dark and listening for the birds in the trees. And use that water. My message is, my encouragement is, you can use any element or all elements, but remember, I am another you, and each and every one of us is part of that circle. Each and every one of us has a purpose, as our sister just said, a truth. To complete yourself here is why we came here. And to know that in this time and space, we can take a deep breath, and we will only live here a short time. And so it is important and urgent to walk your dance, and that you have helpers in nature. And I honor that water is there. There's a teaching going around on the internet that every time you drink water, honor the water and say, the water gives me peace, and I'm at peace inside. And that's a simple prayer that I've started doing on my own. And it is refreshing to know that we can drink water and pray for those who cherish the water. That one drop of water is sacred. And our inner water, our blood, is sacred. And we give that blood back to the earth as women every 28 days. So I'm another you, and honor your inner waters and your health, and go forward. All the blessings.
Thank you, everyone, for your work. And thank you, my abuela, hermana, Silvia, Lemus, for making this weaving together. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mama, that you make me a woman. I am you. Tlatzocomati, tlatzocomati, tlatzocomati.